Why will some people never get their ex back, even if it should have been a slam dunk and easy to get them back? And why do some people get their exes back against seemingly all odds? Is there a common denominator? And if so, what is it? Well, stay tuned and you'll find out. Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. And welcome back, my beautiful no contact army. Have you downloaded my app Silencio to help you get your ex back? Well, if not, the link is underneath every single video and podcast. And if you too would like to join our beautiful no contact army, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, and you're in. And to read our manual, go to nocontactsecrets.com, where you can read 2 free chapters before you purchase the book. Okay, so in order to make my point as to what the common denominator is, I have a story for you. It's story time, boys and girls. Okay, so there's this influencer who I follow, and she seemingly has it all. She's attractive, well off, well spoken, intelligent, popular, blah, 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 the whole package. And yet, she cannot keep a man to save her life. Inevitably, something always happens. Either they break up with her or they do something where she has no choice but to break up with them. And earlier this year, she started dating someone, and again, he's great. I think he's the one. And when I saw that video, my first thought was, okay, how long until we get the breakup video? Well, I didn't have to wait very long, because about 2 or 3 months later, there it is. She started off the video by crying. I'm like, oh boy, it happened. And yes, he broke up with her. So then she's very reflective. And so she thought about the reasons why this happened yet again. And she had some very good arguments. The circumstances weren't exactly right. Me, I would have said that the reason it happened was because he hadn't had enough time between relationships. And she said, fine, but you know what? There's people who met under those circumstances where the circumstances were not ideal. Maybe they were both in relationships, or maybe only one of them was in a relationship, or as in this case, they hadn't had enough time after their previous relationship, and yet it still worked out. So you can't blame circumstances. And I thought, well, you know what? She's right. And she said that other people have said to her, well, you should have picked someone who's whole and complete, because this guy had work to do on himself. But does that mean that everybody who's in a relationship is whole and complete? No. Usually they're not. So it's not like you're going to pick someone who's whole and complete and then it's going to work out. And if you don't pick someone who's whole and complete, it's not going to work out, because it's worked out for so many people to be with someone who's not whole and complete. Other friends said to her, well, you need to focus on yourself. But she is focused on herself. She's worked on herself plenty. And a lot of people have not worked on themselves, and yet they're still in a relationship. So it's not like only people who are perfect and healthy and whole get into relationships or get their ex back, and everyone else doesn't. So what is the problem? I thought, okay, it's got to be something else besides these circumstances. And that is, I felt it was her self-worth. And in fact, she actually mentioned that a few weeks later in a video, that she has low self-worth. And self-worth is simply the value and respect you have for yourself, regardless of external factors like achievements, possessions, other people's opinions. That's why someone can seemingly have it all, have everything, like this influencer, but still have low self-worth. You've heard people say, oh my God, but you have everything. You're beautiful. You're this, you're that. Why do you think so little of yourself? Well, I'll tell you why. Because triggers for self-worth are childhood abuse, either physical or sexual, other childhood trauma, such as a parent or sibling dying, a parent suddenly leaving, losing your home, being bullied, anything that affected your sense of safety. ACEs, which stands for adverse childhood experiences. And this could be things like neglect, growing up in poverty, an alcoholic or sick parent, one parent being violent to the other, a family member going to jail, your parents divorcing, poor parenting, such as frequent punishments and criticism, high standards, not being shown enough affection, these can lead to low self-worth. So if you have low self-worth, it doesn't matter how ideal the circumstances are for you to get your ex back. If you don't believe you're worthy, your beliefs become a self-fulfilling prophecy. As in the case of this influencer who cannot seem to keep a guy. So how do we change our beliefs? Well, we have to change our self-concept. And self-concept is how you see yourself. So when you have low self-worth, you don't have a positive self-concept. But just as you programmed yourself with a negative self-concept with your thoughts and feelings, you can reprogram yourself with new thoughts that will eventually lead to new feelings, which lead to a better self-concept, which leads to a better outcome. And the best way I've found to do this is through affirmations. And I also find that many people are doing affirmations ineffectively. They're usually way, way, way too long. Short ones are best. And a few years ago, one of the affirmations I was using, I just wanted to try it out, was everyone treats me like a queen. So I walked into the store that I had been shopping at for years, and no one had ever said anything to me, talked to me, whatever, not that I care. And I walk into the store, I had been doing the affirmations, I don't remember how long, a week, 2 weeks. As soon as I walk in, a guy had his back to me. He was looking at something on the shelf. As I walked by, he turned around and said, "Hi, hi." And I went, "Oh, hi." Next guy beside him, he turned and said, "Hi." And by this point, I'm like, what is going on? Why is everyone being so friendly in the store all of a sudden? And it's not like I was wearing anything special. I was wearing my usual outfit. And then I went around the corner, and again, the third guy, "Hi, hello, whatever." And I'm like, all right, what's up? This is not normal. And then I'm like, oh, right, of course. My affirmations, everyone treats me like a queen. So, of course, if the queen walks by, you're going to want to say hi, right? So there you go. So you need to find the right affirmations for you. And that depends on what your self-concept is. So whatever you think about yourself that's negative, what would be the opposite of that? That's your affirmation. So for example, if you think that no one wants to date you, you would turn that around to everyone wants to date me. I barely have time to keep up. Everyone wants to date me. I barely have time to keep up. And you can record your affirmations on my app Silencio. And as I said, the link is underneath every single video and podcast. And the app will then loop them so you can play them over and over. And it adds music behind them so you can listen to them day and night. And I suggest you listen to them at night at a very low volume, all night. Yes, you don't need to hear them, but your subconscious does. So that's why you want the low volume. All right, so now I want to hear from you. Have you tried affirmations? And if so, how did they turn out? And if you haven't tried them, are you curious to try them? Let me know. And if you would like my help to get your ex back, or for me to help you find your affirmations, you can contact me at theartoflove.net, and we will send you the rates. The direct link is underneath every single video and podcast. It is not on the website. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening to this as a podcast, please rate and review. And finally, remember, love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.